This right here is Ember, or Ember Prime, our destructive, offensive, fire-based Warframe who literally sets the world on fire around her, and she looks pretty damn good as well, right? So up until recently I ran my Ember strictly as a crowd control frame, using maximum range and equipping her with her Firequake augment, which of course knocks enemies down affected by her world on fire. But I've had a few of you requesting that I try Ember for a high power strength ranged build without Firequake, and to focus on simply damage dealing, and to combine her world on fire with her accelerant, and if possible to try and activate her passive as well. Now Ember's passive is called Ignition. Anytime Ember suffers a heat status proc, she gains 35% power strength for the duration of that status proc, and she will regenerate 10 energy per second while she is on fire. So Ember needs to take fire damage, not just any damage but a fire status proc. Napalms I guess can be useful if they don't kill you first, or maybe you could self damage, but I'm not sure if that works or not. So when you suffer fire damage then cast World on Fire, you will have a 35% damage increase. Combine that with her accelerant ability whenever you get into trouble or surrounded, and you will pretty much melt everything. And because of her accelerant, she works incredibly well with certain weapons like the Ignis and the Atomos especially, which can have you dealing some really nice amounts of damage. It's synergy like this between frames and weapons that I really like the most about Ember. There's definitely not enough of that kind of synergy in the game right now for different Warframes. Now she is called a glass cannon by a lot of our player base for a reason. At certain levels she can go down pretty damn fast, but the same can be said for a lot of Warframes in the game. And let's be honest, we don't really need to go to the stupidly high levels that we went to before with the Endless Void missions, since there's no point in doing those anymore. But when you build a squad around Ember to maximise her effectiveness, she can allow you to reach incredibly high levels if you still want to. If you've got say a Slow Nova, a Banshee and a Frost Bubble on a defence mission, then it is pretty much easy loot. And of course it's going to depend on how you go about modding your Ember or Ember Prime. She can either be an amazing crowd control frame with Firequake, or she can be an amazing trash cleaning frame with World on Fire. And by that I mean trash mobs die really fast, like your butchers, your lancers, your chargers and so on, which leaves you and your squad only having to focus down heavy targets like bombards, ancient healers, napalms and the likes of those. The opinion of Ember being an overpowered Warframe is one that's shared by a lot of new players to the game, who will look at Ember the same way that they looked at the old Sauron and think that she's too powerful because at the lower levels she will kill everything. However, past level 50 it's only trash that goes down fast. And then when you finally start jumping into sorties, you will notice that even trash takes its time in dying to World on Fire. So she's not what you think she is at all. She's not that overpowered frame just because you're seeing her kill things at really low levels. If anything, she's an incredibly well balanced frame in my eyes. But when you have your Ember or Ember Prime in a squad that are rolling with corrosive projections and a decent amount of crowd control, she is a really amazing frame. When you give her fire based weapons, it's even better. I really can't wait to see what the Silva and Aegis buff will bring to Ember's arsenal. Now Ember is definitely one of our best damage dealing frames in the game, but you guys can let me know what you think of her in the comment section below. Right now I have two different mod setups on my Ember Prime. Config A is my World on Fire damage dealing setup, and Config B is a variation of that same build, but I've got Firequake in there instead of Intensify. The energy drain on both of these builds isn't bad at all. In fact, it's easily manageable because the drain is pretty slow. However, if you're wanting a slower drain, then simply switch out some of the mods to accommodate that. Basically build to suit your own playstyle, because once you're having fun, who gives a fuck, right? So recently I've covered Hydroid, Limbo, Sauron and now Ember. So who should I cover next? Let me know as well in the comment section. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.
Talking.